Welcome back. So I want to talk about implementing no contact into your life post breakup. I think this is going to be a really important video for people because they are coming from the routine and the identity of their life through the relationship. So, that's how they see themselves. They see themselves having dinner with the person that they were once with every single day. They see themselves talking to this person day to day like they used to, texting and calling and so on and so forth, even sleeping next to the person that you were once with every day. And then out of nowhere, it's gone. It's gone overnight. And you can see how a lot of people really struggle with the day-to-day emotions from what they're dealing with. So I want to try to help you guys move forward into that process. First of all, it changes this. You have to change how you think and how you view relationships entirely. And that is why I get all my students to read. I mention reading in all of my videos, and people are like, hey, where do I go to read your books that you recommend? So I want to tell you guys right now that my site is being completely redesigned, and it's going to have a very good book list. So you guys will have a good idea of where to go. It will be on my site, which is also where my coaching is hosted on masculineenergy.net. But right now it is kind of wonky and weird. So if you want coaching from me, it's going to be in the description box down below with my Instagram and email. So just put in the subject box coaching questions or whatever, and I will answer your questions that day. Usually I have enough time at the end of the day to get to those questions. Anyway, so that's where you guys can go. And it starts again with reading and updating your belief system about relationships and women, because clearly you're here for a reason. You have something to learn. Some people have a lot to learn, and some people have something small, a little adjustment of the radio dial, so to speak. It's really tough for people to jump into this new life and know exactly what to do and how to maneuver through it. So what I always get my students to do is a new daily routine. So it can be reading the material, studying the material. Make sure you're walking and lifting weights. That is a requirement. Now, make sure you're doing that every day because you're going to be thinking about everything X, right? What's my ex doing now? You're checking her socials, right? I would not recommend immediately smashing, right? Don't go out there and just jump back into the game, because emotionally, coming from an emotional place, you're going to just set yourself up for failure. Down the road, 100%, go out there and do that, right? But right now, you're going to set yourself up for failure. One of two things is going to happen. You're not going to be ready and you're just going to feel shitty about the situation, or some girl is really going to like you and a high quality woman will come across your plate, right? And you're going to have to make a decision. And a lot of people do that. They'll go out there and they'll meet a really good woman and they'll end up fucking it up because they're not over their ex. A lot of people out there will tell you just suck it up, right? Not me. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to even go down that road. You're not ready. So take your time, right? So brand new routine. So you can begin this routine with some exercise that'll get your mind sort of at ease and not so anxious. That will help you. And then I want you guys to be studying material. So again, the book list is going to go up, but start with How to Be 3% Man, Atomic Attraction, Tactical Guide to Women, Rational Male. There's all kinds of good books, right? Read those and move forward with your life as well. And I'm going to add another book in there, The Abundance Book by John Randolph Price. Tiny little book. It's like a pocket book. It's on $5 on Amazon. Pick that up. And as you're going to be adding new ideas and new thinking to your brain, you're going to start feeling and acting differently. This is how you actually become a different person. So I want to discuss that. When you are in a relationship, your identity literally changes, because how you view yourself is actually involved with another person. Remaining detached is something that you should do, but it's difficult for people to do until they understand that way of thinking. So yes, I love the person I'm with. I've been with her for over 7 years. And if it ended, I would of course be crushed. I would be upset. Would it ruin my life? No, not at all. I would find things to do, while the pain was, inside. But other than that, I would move on eventually and find another woman. That's just the way of the world, right? Do I want it to end? No, I don't think it's going to end. I'm married to her, but that's how it works, right? So would it ruin me? Absolutely not. Your understanding of the world will adjust and change, and you're going to realize that the only person that's going to take care of this meat suit is you, not her, right? Your parents only do it for a certain amount of time, and they're ready to get you out of the door, right? Nobody's going to take care of you but you. So there's no point in sitting there worrying about that kind of stuff. You have to love being around yourself and being alone. Learn how to be alone. There's nothing wrong with being alone. You like listening to music, that you do hobbies alone. Nothing wrong with that. So start learning new things. And that is going to be a huge revolutionary thing for you. Letting Go by David Hawkins is another book. I completely forgot about that one for some reason. Get into that, right? And you're going to start understanding sort of how energy works. And you're going to start understanding how people work and why they work the way that they do. And you're going to start really piecing together why you and your ex did not work out at this point in time. So your identity is going to change. And because you and her are no longer together, your identity is sort of fragmented and you don't really know what you are, who you are anymore. And you need to start forming a new version, a better version of you. That's why every fucking coach in this goddamn space says work on yourself. It's the absolute truth. You do need to work on yourself because you need to create and cultivate this new version of you. You don't know who or what that version is going to be. That's why coaches and mentors like myself we're always going to preach, learn women, understand attraction, because when that comes along, you're going to know what to do. But then the real thing is work on yourself, but it's really understanding you. Understanding what you love to do, who you love to hang around, what you like to study, who you like to study or emulate in your life. Who do you look up to and who do you want to aspire to be? A really good question is if the person that you were 5 years from now came and spoke to you, what would you want them to say, right? That is something that I use to get me to really move and push when I don't really want to. And that's something I like to do when I'm trying to get to that next level in my life, right? And there's always a return on investment for me to continue to work on my blogs and to continue to help students and so on and so forth. But that's what I do. And that's the identity and the hard worker, right, that I've created for myself. I hope that made sense. So I think of these things on the fly, by the way. So if I sound kind of funny and I say things in a weird way, it's just, these aren't scripted. So I think for you guys, starting small is great. And then as you walk the path, you're going to start seeing how it's going to be revealed to you slowly. And things will just make more sense. But you cannot be paralyzed by your pain. Do not let the pain paralyze you. A lot of students, about 50% of my students, get stuck in that paralysis, right? And they're like, I'm so hurt. I don't have I want to feel like doing something, but you're never going to feel like doing anything. You have to force yourself to do it. That's why starting small is good. And you get this habit of doing something every day. And then when things turn into habit, it no longer takes willpower. It's part of your subconscious conditioning, right? So that is what we do here. If you want coaching from me and you want help from me, go down below to my website if it's working. If it's not, go to my email, masculineenergy27@gmail.com, and send me an email if you want some help. We'll get you on a good path to move forward, and understand that if you do make mistakes, they're not going to be major mistakes. I will guide you and help you. See you guys in the next video. Work on your daily rituals and goals and habits so that you can do this no contact thing correctly with some success. Done.